Terrific. So everybody, welcome. It is Patriots Day here in Massachusetts. So I still thought it was important for us to go ahead and continue our Monday Mastermind, which I believe is probably going to be changed to Masters Monday or Monday with the Masters, but we'll talk about that later. In the interim, I'm going to I'd like to welcome our whole team here and anybody that's watching us on replay or on Facebook, if I don't see you on Facebook. So what I'm going to do, Greg and I, our communications chair from Connecticut, spoke about getting together, looking at the new webinars, because Greg has been doing the webinars on crs.com. But before we get started, I just wanted to start with some upcoming events for the New England region that we've got coming on, and I'm going to share my screen.
Save the date.
Save the dates here. So let's see if I can hide my control panel. Can you see the screen? Can you see what I've got up here? The
Yep.
president's letter? Okay, great. So I always like to highlight it with the mission and our vision. And sorry, this thing keeps popping up. I don't know if you see it, but the
Nope,
meeting
you're good.
controls. Okay. So here are some, just to really recap, last week, our probate class with Buddy West, we had over 25 people in attendance in Foxborough. And there's Christine and Tom Matthews, our education chair, Christine, and our all-around Zoom, Google Drive expert. Thank you, Christine. And Tom Matthews, our vice chair. So we had about 120 plus people. There were 90 plus, I think 100, Christine. Feel free to chime in. And here is Buddy West and G, who co-created the class. And today is obviously Mastermind Mondays with Greg, but I wanted to also highlight Michelle, represented us down in Florida for our leaf peepers and snowbirds. So leaf peepers is a save the date for September 18th. In Mystic, Connecticut, Greg, that's your neck of the woods. We're really looking forward to that. And really quickly, our Central Massachusetts networking event is next month, May 17th. It's a Wednesday evening, 5 to 7. And I'm going to keep, for me, I have to just move this little, you can't see it, but I can, screen down here. We went through this on Zoom last week when the bar keeps popping up, but that's going to be at the Haven Country Club, and it will be very affordable. We might even have, registration at the door, but we will just stay on the lookout for that. Mary Beth Lynch, no relation, is our network director. And this looks like this is the draft, not the actual email that was sent out because I caught some typos. But Lighthouse Harbor Tour is then on June 28th, and Corrine Costanzo, who is on with us right now, has organized that, and that's at 4 o'clock, and that will be fun. And finally, Mystic, Connecticut, as I mentioned before. So stay tuned and definitely look out for those emails from me. And also please make sure you join the Facebook group and follow the Facebook page for New England Region CRS if you find a derivative, RRC New England Region. And of course, then we have our CRS group page too for national events. So anyway, take it away, Greg.
All right. That was a great icebreaker. I was going to ask, what is the origin of Patriots Day? Because I'm in Connecticut. What is the origin of it?
The Battle of Lexington and Concord.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys in Mass have a day off, or getting a little bit of fun in there. But I just wanted to start with, the main topic I want to hit is the new platform for all of the education bundles that are coming out of RRC. Specifically, I subscribe to, and we'll talk a little bit about the video bundle, which is, I think it's one of the best values out there. But I'm just going to jump into something that's really important when I was trying to pull together some information. I think it's something that all of us, myself included, need to be conscious of, and I'll jump right into it. That is, and I'll use myself as a test dummy here. Your profile right under my dashboard. Once a year, you should hit your profile. And just in chat, how many people, put a 1 in if you've been in your profile in the last year and done any updates, and put a 2 in if you have not touched it in more than a year. Let's see what we've got. Ooh, look at this.
Ones. Very good.
Oh, that's a lot of 1s. That's amazing. You know what? That's why you guys are CRSs, top 2% in the country. But in the profile, what I wanted to point out for those of you that have not, or if you're watching on replay, the thing about the profile that stood out to me is to do updates on your bio. You can cut and paste and make sure your bio's up to date. Your NAR designations, I think, probably flow in off of your NERDS number. But then make sure you've got your favorite zip codes in terms of your neighborhoods identified and the counties that you're identified. And we're going to get to this because one of the best things in terms of value for you as a member of RRC is the referral network. If you don't have these in here, you're ghosting yourself and you're not able to reap the rewards of referrals being made. And so that's on the topic of profiles. Try to hit that once a year. And then the other thing is, you know, from a standpoint of the member marketing, the background that I've got up is available right over here. There's, you know, some customizable guides that you can utilize. The member marketings, these infographics are great for social. These are right under the resources. And I'll drop right into here, the background for Zoom background. Here's where you can download the CRS branded backgrounds if you want to use that. We're going to come back and circle, you're going to tie the knot on this conversation, I guess, with the find a CRS and you know, the find the CRS referrals right here. That's the tab right there that I've already got open. And I just want to throw an example out here. Let me just take Boston, Massachusetts, since it's Patriots Day, right? So let's see how many CRSs we've got in Boston. Okay. Now we've got a total of 21 in the results. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but you can, if you want, you're curious about the more engaged people that are putting their money where their thoughts are and their mouth is, so to speak. Look at this. We've got 2 major investors. If you want to drill down to who's a major investor in an area where you're making a referral, I'll take Joe. Okay. Joe, if you pull into Joe's bio right here, you can, he's a major investor. We've already got that filter on, and you know, it's a interesting thing to be able to do your homework. When I'm making referrals, I start with the CRS directory. I look at the towns or the geographic areas, and then drill down into cross-checking other platforms, you know, seeing what production levels are at, and then make that referral. The other thing that's interesting, and I'll go right back to Joe's profile. If I wanted to make just get this out of my way, I'll get right into Joe. The send a referral right in the network. Forget about having to grab a you know, referral sheet, fill it out in dot loop or transaction desk. It fills out all the information, and then you can literally, it's electronic signature platform, all built in to the CRS RRC site. You know, if you're doing the single family home referral, you drop in the budget. Is it a buyer or seller? Our past president, I think he was 2012, Ron Phipps. I made a referral to Ron last year, and he got the deal done, got the seller across the finish line in the state of Rhode Island, right through this network right here. So I want to highlight that because a lot of people I don't think are utilizing it to the capacity that they can. And any questions on that so far? No? Okay. So we've touched on the education component. Actually, we didn't touch on that. Let me share one thing here. I'll just take I'll take Waterford, Connecticut myself, where I am. And this is important because the education bundles, when you sign up for webinars, you can actually see the education component for the, for the particular person by clicking on education tab. All of these courses, a lot of these are webinars, and these, the involvement that you do, you only get that credit if you go through at the tail end of a webinar. I'm going to show you how to make sure that that's being logged, because if you registered, that's one thing. You need to fill out the affidavit and the survey at the end. So we'll jump right into, I want to talk about the webinar bundle. Right now, there are no specials on it. The specials typically are November, December, and January, right before celebration in February. This is what the webinar bundle can be purchased for. It's a $750 value. You can get it when it's on sale, and you're getting basically about 60 different webinars that are being sent to you, and you can time shift. I probably attend maybe 10 to 20% of them live. The rest of the time, 80%, they're being watched with time shifting, taking that link from the live webinar into my unread or unwatched video folder, and then I can get to it. Now, out of the 60, I'll share with you, for example, this is inside my dashboard, and the registrations you get automatically loaded into them if you're subscribing to the video bundle, and you can pick and choose what you want. I mean, there's certain things that I don't have interest in, and I'll avoid those. I don't have to watch it, but the ones that I am interested in, I'll either replay it or time shift it. And the cool thing about it is that once you've gotten that invite, you're always got the join event. That's the live. It's given to you right before it happens. But that link now with the new system is a live hot link back into the webinar. And the let me just try to hit refresh. I timed out, had it all teed up, ready to go. Here we go. Okay, so let me just hit pause on this. So I want to just review and touch on the structure of the new bundle. In the beginning, Paul is the moderator, and I think that this system is amazing because Paul says, click down on the bottom. You just can't break it. Okay. Now I just broke it. So the thing about it is the chat. First thing is, like, we normally miss all of the chat when you're doing Zoom. All of the chat for the entire webinar is in there, so you're able to see that. The attachments, when we used to play the videos on the old platform, what would happen is that if I wanted to go into the slides, or if I wanted to, let's say, open up the affidavit, it would blow out whatever was playing. Now, the player is continuing to play. I can resize it totally, and it will end up just continuing to roll. A lot of times what I end up doing is I'll have the slides, and I will just try to, I can move them around and get them the size that I want. If I'm seeing more content be in the slides as opposed to the speaker, I'll key in on the slides and I can make them bigger. And like anything else, this little gear icon, I want to point out that the gear icon is my friend, because I generally will play back in 1.25 speed. I'll just drop it up, bring it up a notch. And for example, this one is 72 minutes. Well, let's just think about a 1 hour one. If I'm doing it 1.25, I'm gonna save myself 10 minutes and get through it a little bit quicker. So it's just like YouTube, if you will. You can adjust that. If we get interrupted with a phone call that you've got to take, good, you just hit pause. And I like the fact that we've got the attachments. And here's where the secret of getting back to education component in your profile right here. So that education, remember, we have to have our minimum education requirements on an annual basis. This checks that box. So one of the things that you open is you open up the, you identify, are you a designee or just a member or a non-member? I think one of the first times I ever looked at or watched anything to do with RRC was probably around 2013, was one of the first, actually I saw it in my order history. I think it was 2013 was the first time I paid. I wasn't a member of RRC, wasn't a CRS at the time, and watched the video bundle, not the whole video bundle itself, but a particular class, and that started to get me hooked. And so the evaluation is one of the things. The affidavit is the, oops, I timed out. The affidavit is where you have 3 initials. You have to put in that you watched it, you filled out the evaluation, and certify that you watched it to the end. You click, you know, put your initials in, and now that ends up in your bio, if you will, of education. And then from a standpoint of the slides are made available to you. Okay, so you're able to take that content and you know, do whatever you want. Google Drive, your, you know, hopefully some type of cloud storage with redundancy, and you know, utilize that information. I think it's one of the best things that I've seen in terms of player, this platform to be able to do it. When you're on mobile, I'll point out that I'm on desktop right now, and so this is staying live, but it's just like Zoom. When you're playing it back on your phone, you'll end up, you just have to touch the screen, and then that little dashboard comes back up. So it was something that just happened a couple months ago. I tried to get the moderator, Paul, to be here with us. Got to meet Paul in person down at Celebration, and it was great because I heard his voice. He had his back to me, and I said, I know that's Paul, just through knowing it. One of my favorite things, I'll give you an example, Tax Talk with Chris Bird. I think he did the April one. It was February, April. I did that replay driving to the airport, doing a pickup, and then driving back. The passenger in my car had to listen to me finishing Chris Bird Tax Talk. So I wanted to share that with you today when Nora was asking me, what did I think? So let me think. I've got the video bundle we talked about. We've talked about the platform navigation, how to utilize that. And Paul at the beginning will always remind you, he'll tell you that you don't have to worry about breaking that player. It is just so much better than the old one, because if you clicked on the slides because you wanted to maybe have them on a second screen, it would stop the video and you'd have to restart the video. Now it's just fluid. It's a great upgrade in system. Does anyone else utilize the video bundle?
I bought one last year, but I can't wait to purchase this one. I mean, and I didn't even know, so thank you, until you just showed it, how they all come up on your education.
They do. They do.
That's amazing.
And what's cool about it is you can go backwards. You know, the emails come inbound because you're already pre-registered, and they're in your calendar if you want to subscribe to the calendar for them. But sometimes I'll misplace the email. I can go right back in and access through my education or registrations on CRS.com.
Great. I saw somebody's hand go up. Anybody have questions? I
think the hands went up when registration or having the video bundle, liking the video
Mhm.
bundle. But the content is great. I find that it to spread it out throughout the 12 months. We do, as RRC members, have 12, I believe it's one a month that are being produced that are free. Okay, so the video bundle just takes it to another level. I've done it for 2 years at $199 a year. And I think it's probably for sure, when people ask me about, the education opportunities, I think that is top of the line because of the fact that there's such diversity. The topics that get hit in 60 video bundles or 55 55 hours, and sometimes they're longer than an hour. There's certain speakers that have a really hard time not keeping it under an hour, but we're going to accomplish the goal of keeping it under 30 minutes.
Well, I think it's great too, because it's not just limited to the instructors that we see on the instructor page. There's a lot more people, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's very wide diversity. Let me go back to screen share and I'll just give you some examples of some of the topics.
And Greg, there are a couple of questions in the chat too.
Oh, I'll jump into those questions in 1 second. Let me just see if I can grab. All right, so this is working chronologically backwards. Okay, actually, guess what? I was wrong. 2006 was the first class that I ever took from RRC. So underutilized NAR tools, power of Google. That is RealGrader, actually, for people that need help with the 8 different, synchronizing all of your platforms. Affordable housing, luxury real estate market, 7 steps to, get press for your business. This one was a good one, that 40 hours a week is ruining your life. Geez, if I could get down to 40 hours, that would be amazing. I think I'm double that, but all of the different, so this continues. Actually, this is not the best view of it. Order history is the best view of it, because then you can see going backwards. These are all, each one of these are different webinars. Like if I click on this, okay, for $0, what would it have been? It's going to be a webinar. Radon and real estate. Yep, that was Pillar and Post. Pretty sure it was Pillar and Post. And this is utilizing the old platform. So yeah, I'm like 99.
I have a question. Greg, are some of these pre-recorded or are most of the ones you're taking live?
They're all live. They're all live, but then they're recorded and we're getting a replay. So the video bundle has 2 components to it, and that is the video bundle is the live where you can participate. If you sync your calendar with the webinar times, great. You're able to interact. And at the end, the Q&A, Paul is really good with rolling through the questions and answers. And then you can take it offline if you need to with the speaker. And then you get the replay. But now the key is that the new one, you can see the full chat dialogue. And that is powerful, because sometimes there'll be that interaction and you didn't quite get the speaker repeating the question that they start to answer. And so I think that's kind of important. I see in the chat, don't use DocuSign. Yeah, the referral form, what's cool about it is you don't have to subscribe to any electronic platform. I don't remember which platform it utilizes, but it's an internal one. It's not, I agree, I don't use DocuSign, but if a document comes to me through DocuSign, you can still sign it. So yeah, the bundle is available. So Barbara, the bundle is available, but it's expensive right now. It's at the retail price, which would be $750. I don't think you're going to burn. I think you could probably go through and cherry pick the videos that you wanted to see. And maybe Nora could pull some weight and see if we could get a coupon code for a mid-year joining of it, or second quarter entry.
How can you see which ones are
Kurt-
free?
Kurt's on
You
the
said
phone.
one a month is free.
Kurt's on
yeah,
here.
Kurt.
Just wrote it
Hello,
down.
Kurt.
Yeah. Dot loop. Yeah, the signature on the CRS site, again, you don't have, it's an internal, if you're using dot loop, think of it as an internal loop. The other party does not have to sign. So it is, the other person electronically signs on the CRS platform. So it works, it works great. And I'll even say that they're logged. I don't want to bore you with me trying to go back in and look for my referrals, but I know they're logged, and the referrals that I've received and the referrals that I've made are logged inside of the system. So to get the referrals, or to give the referrals, you just have to circle back to and remember to find the CRS. And when we are searching, what are we going to do? If someone's got just a name, no headshot, how many people? There are a lot of people, believe it or not, that are CRSs that don't even have a headshot in there or a bio. Are they going to get a referral? They're probably doing, they're probably members for other reasons. And I look at it and say, you should take advantage. Why ghost yourself? Make yourself known, make sure the headshot's current, and get your bio current. Pick out your 4 areas. By the way, I'll share this real quick, and then I know we got to jump off. But I have my 4 zip codes, okay? And am I sharing yet? Let's see. Everybody gets 4 zip codes. And so if I jump into here, and let me just go to referrals, find a CRS, all right? And I'll just take Waterford, Connecticut, my home base. And there's only 2 of us. Marilyn, who's a rock star, she is, Eastern Connecticut has the most major investors out of the entire state. And we have probably the lowest average sale price point. So got a lot of engaged members, thanks to Maryland. So this is in one of my zip codes. I have 3 others. Well, I pay a whopping $35 for additional locations. I'll take one, Stonington.
And Greg, it looks like if you pay $275, you could get a little shot up there too.
Oh, if I want, yeah, no, I just do, this is good enough for me, you know? So right here, this is a boost at $35, and then boom. Okay, so that people can get in here. And where is that boost? So where does that come from? That is in referrals, online advertising, and there's periodic specials. So additional city listings. See the pricing right here starts at $35, and it's 1 year. And obviously you're not going to advertise where you don't work, but the additional city ads is another way to get yourself a little bit exposure for the inbound referrals. Okay, I hope that helps.
That has been great. Any other questions? But oh, Corinne Geiger.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Greg. I just wanted to clarify if I heard you correctly. When you mentioned about the webinar appears on your education, on your CRS, losing the word, your profile. So you have to fill out the affidavit or the questionnaire in order for that to appear that you've
Yeah.
taken the education?
Yeah, because what happens if you think about it this way, just because I'm registered doesn't mean I even consumed the information.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So by you watching the content,
Mhm.
by you getting that education and bringing your game up above the other 98% of real estate agents in the country,
Right.
and then filling out the questionnaire, there's 3 boxes that you attest to. You fill out the questionnaire, which is evaluating the content and the instructor. And
Okay.
you've got to be brutally honest. If you didn't like it, why? You know,
Because
Uh,
sometimes when I do the replay, because a lot of times I can't watch it live, I
Yep.
just never fill that out.
no,
So
that go back and you can go
Yeah.
back in education and
Mhm.
get that all filled out. I mean, if you
Okay.
consumed
Mhm.
10, 20, 30, 50 webinars, go back and fill them out.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can do that on the replay for sure.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Yep.
Greg, how do we see which class is free?
The free one, is it okay if we jump over?
Sure.
Go over just a second. I'll pop into the freeze part. Okay, so under, let me see, is it resource free webinar library? Thank goodness my brain worked.
Okay.
So here it is. So these are the free ones. Marketing trends, build your business. So there are these. Yeah, each month. Yeah, it's a total of 12 complimentary. And there's, you know what? I don't know that they're all of these are free. Some of them, that's a great question. You know that, Barbara? I think that because I don't think every single one is free. This is a 1 credit course on demand. Register for free. These might all be for free. I didn't test all the links because the hard part is I'm logged in and I can't tell which ones aren't free because I've got the video bundle, which means I've got all the free ones plus all the paid ones.
Well, the good thing is going to the resources. Can you go back? It's under resources.
Yeah, right here. See, if you're not logged in, you can't even get into these because people that are people that are not members of RRC can't get into this section, but right here, free under resources, free webinar library. That's the
terrific.
spot. Okay.
That's great. Well, everybody, I'm very proud. Everybody's been on there, a lot of ones for updating their profile. I just updated my profile picture this morning. So that's good. And now I know to update the zip codes and whatnot. And I want to thank everybody for being here. Greg, thanks so much for, teeing it up on short notice last week.
You're
and
welcome.
being here, and thank you for your work as communications chair, and looking forward to you being one of the main hosts for September. in Mystic,
Absolutely.
Connecticut.
Yeah, we got great weather, and being right on the coast, it's, if you're in the middle of Massachusetts, you come down to the coast, it's 10 degrees cooler.
And what hotel?
Just
is
like
it?
the Cape.
What hotel? What hotel again?
That's going to be Mystic Hilton.
The Mystic Hilton.
Yep.
And it's going to be
Let's give you
basically
a discount code on that at some
Yeah.
point.
great.
Is there an email for that Mystic class? I didn't.
Not yet, because it's not,
Where's-
we haven't set up the registration yet. That'll be
But just save the date, because it is going to be that Monday with Kim Cameron teaching 2 4-hour
It's
courses.
going to be 2 4-hour sessions.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
But just stay tuned, really look at those save the dates, and just keep checking out the Facebook pages and group page, and a lot of information is going to be on that too. But just pencil in those dates or pen them in. All right.
Yeah, and the other thing about that is that it's not just the 2 4-hour sessions. There is a networking event that's right afterwards. We're not calling it necessarily a major investor event, but it's a event that if you attend the full day in person, you're getting I think there's.
Networking event.
They're light
Yeah.
appetizers and,
Yeah.
bar and.
Part of Eastern Connecticut Association of
Correct.
Realtors. Mhm,
Correct.
part of that. So it's great to be collaborating with other Realtor associations. So it's great.
Yep.
One more comment to reinforce what Greg was just saying. It's really important to fill out the questionnaire, even if you do it online, because that gives Paul the ability to rate all the instructors. So that's how they hire the best instructors. So that's really important for us to do that.
Thanks so much, Yolanda, our network director in Connecticut. So nice
Yeah.
to see you. All right, everyone, thank you and look forward to seeing you next month or sooner at some networking events.
And for
Thank
those of you
you.
in Mass, happy Patriots Day.
Thank you. Happy Patriots Day to everyone.
All right.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.